Yes, it's another time to look at issues of counseling, educational career, quadrant with dependency. I'm your host today. We'll be looking at certain things that we consider very, very important in counseling. Today we're looking at counseling skills. Counseling skills. We had earlier established in the last time we had counseling has to do with a relationship between a professionally trained person in counseling, therapists, who's now using that skill to help someone that has a problem. But to know there are skills that you need to have as a counselor. You look at the skills, attending skills, listening skills, interviewing skills, skills to diagnose, skill to develop a therapy, implement the therapy, evaluate, follow, and see how the person has been able to integrate those things into his life. So first of all, we look at the skill of attending. That's start when you're building rapport. What is a rapport? When you're building a working relationship with your clients. Not that you are trying to establish a friendship, but you are building a relationship that is cordial, that allows you and your clients to work. That is mostly the first stage of counseling when you have a referral. What is referral? Referral has to do with the process in which a client, one who has a problem, a counselee, comes in contact with you, the therapist, the professional counselor. It could be same referral when an individual knows he or she has a challenge, has a need, has a goal he wants to meet, and is looking for help and gets to you as a counselor through maybe your flyer, your website, or a billboard. It could also be referred by a significant other, a family member, a father, a teacher. It could also be referred by a professional like you who may have worked with that individual and for certain reason believes you stands a better chance to help the individual. So he may refer professionally. Another way you can also have referral has to do with invited client. As a counselor, especially those who work in institutions, who work in agencies, even in a community, you feel this person would benefit from being counseled by you. You may invite that individual and have a counseling sessions. That process of building that rapport, establishing a relationship is very, very significant. And according to Carl Rogers, one of the personalities expert in counseling and client-centered counseling, that two people are in a psychological contact. That is, the two minds come together in a psychological contact. There is this um, unity of the mind. That is very important. That is key in establishing that relationship. It's the tone for how that relationship may be. In fact, in counseling, that first counseling is complete in itself. The success or otherwise depends on what happens in that first encounter. It's very important, very significant that as a therapist you are well prepared to receive the client for the first time. It sets the tone, how you receive him, how you speak, the environment, the acceptance, not approval, acceptance of the person, his individuality, because he or she is in a state of shock, but you are stable. That step is very, very important. That is the first step, building rapport. And in most cases, that also is when you do what is called intake interview, allowing the client to tell you his or her own story. Why am I here? What brought him or her to you? What does she want out of that relationship, that meeting? You get to learn to know and you ask questions, make observations. If it was referred by a therapist like you look at records. By this time, you would have gone through the anecdote, the summary, and be able to prepare yourself and look at the areas to handle the theories, the paradigms that you will use to work with the individual. Another thing you also do at that interview, it helps you to know the depth of the problem. When did this start? Has it been? What are the traits? What are the things that maintains them? And what has the person been doing to de-accelerate that problem? In other words, to solve it. Very important. Then you now look at what are the expectations. Depending on how you're able to structure that first meeting, you can set goals. What as a goal that has to do with the client, what the client wants out of that engagement, and you as a professional, because your time shouldn't be wasted. And then what this session itself wants to achieve. Is it going to be a learning goal, a divisional goal? Is it going to be a therapy? Is it going to be prevention? What is it that is the aim of the meeting? So you look into that very, very important. Remember, the stage one is the diagnostic. You're able to diagnose, like a medical doctor, like an engineer, look at what is actually the problem. And that has to do with how you get in contact with the clients. And because when people come for help, you know they are in a state of apprehension, shocked, they don't know what to do, they don't even know what to expect from you. So you don't need help to extend that first meeting that long. Is to build relationship and get confidence. Let the person know what therapy is, what counseling is, how is it being done, what are the person's rights and privileges, and then issue of confidentiality, the things that you cannot devolve. And at the same time, one thing you have to let the person know the boundary of confidentiality, especially if the information has to do with the safety of the person, the safety of the society, or the safety of other persons that may come in contact with the individual. So these are very critical things that you, as an expert, need to understand and you put before the client. And if both of you are able to agree to work together, you set the counseling goals, and that culminates in consent, informed consent. How does informed consent comes about? One is for the client to know what he or she is about to go into, our own duties, responsibility, and yeah, in terms of when to meet, the duration, the place, assignment the person has to carry out, the fee, because you are not doing a free sale. You are a professional. You're selling a service and you're trying to make tangible an intangible product, which is a service in this particular aspect of solution giving. And when you are able, these are very important to structure the agreement and know when to pay, how to terminate, and all those things. So that in the next session when you meet, you actually know what to do. So the first meeting help to determine how many sessions, what are we doing next, what are the steps, how do you follow till the time you get to resolve the problem. So today we were looking at the critical aspect of counseling, which has to do with the skills that a counselor needs to be very adept at. And one of it has to do with client relationship establishment. The first, building a rapport, not a friendship, but cordial working atmosphere for solutions to take place. So if we want to go back, we're talking about counseling. Counseling, just like we have other professions, a lawyer goes to court to use the knowledge of the law to help clients resolve issues about one thing or the other. The same thing in medical, the same thing in accounting profession. So in counseling, what we do is we use our knowledge of human learning, psychology, emotions, decision makings, coaching them and help get people become optimally functioning in their life by being able to identify their problem along with us, walk them through solutions, and they are able to take informed decisions. Remember, we do not make decisions for clients. We empower clients to make decisions. That's one thing that separates a professional counselor from those who don't know because they give advice. We do not give advisory services. We counsel, we empower and get people to the point they can take decisions. Ours is to stand by them throughout the process. If you have questions, you can always send to triple E counseling at gmail.com or you call 070 Until we meet in the next edition of this podcast, I remain the Wicked SC, the Chief Executive Officer, and also the lead counseling psychologist at Triple Counseling Services here at number 24 IBB Avenue, Uruguay State. God bless you and you have a wonderful